Hey there, my name is Anthony Romano, and this video is going to be on why your ketones drop as you get adapted on a ketogenic diet. So, I've always said that you don't need to measure ketones when you're on a ketogenic diet. However, a lot of people still like to do this. So, if you want to measure your ketones, go for it. However, my general rule of thumb has always been you don't have to do it. You'll basically know when you're in ketosis, and you can tell by the way your appetite feels, the way how you feel in your mind, your mental clarity, speech clarity, things like that. So, you don't have to measure ketones, and I hate that stereotype that you do, because a lot of people believe that you do, but many people who do measure the ketones have noticed that your ketones drop as you get longer durations on a ketogenic diet. Okay, so the further you diet down the line, some people have measured their ketones, and one of my buddies hit me up and said, oh, you know, my wife, she just started keto and her ketones are way higher than mine. What's the deal? And I explained to my friend, here's the deal. Your body in the beginning will excrete a lot of ketones. Your body is not used to ketosis, and it will create more ketones than it needs to use just as an adaptation to the diet, because your body wants to always make sure it has enough energy. This is why some people get better results in the beginning, because their body is just burning as much fat as it can, okay? And of course, your caloric intake determines your fat loss in combination with, you know, stabilizing your insulin and your blood sugar with a ketogenic diet. However, some people just get massive results up front, and then down the line they get normal results. So they get 2 pounds a week after they're adapted, but they get 3 pounds a week burned in the first month. And here's the deal. Your body uses ketones more than it has to in the beginning. It will excrete them through your saliva and your urine, basically your piss. So what's going to happen is you're going to be getting rid of a lot more ketones. Now, when you're adapted, what happens is your body is not only better at using ketones, but most of those ketones go to your brain. So about 75% of all the ketones you produce are used for the brain. And 75% of your brain's energy gets made up of ketones. The rest comes from glycogen, which will be created from extra protein that you're eating. You don't need to be afraid of protein turning into glucose in your blood. This is a good thing. And it's actually very helpful for strength trainers and bodybuilders as well, because you don't need to eat carbs to get full muscle stores. And that's actually a much more stable blood sugar rise than anything you'll find on a carbohydrate-based diet. But that's a topic for another video. So, most of your ketones are going to your brain. What happens then for the fat? Well, most of your energy for your muscles is going to come from fatty acids, and that's going to be predominantly from fat being broken down, and then you have access to those fats in your bloodstream. Okay, ketones after adaptation, and the further you get down a ketogenic diet, are going to be going mostly to your brain. And this is why people will take MCT oils and they'll notice a lot of mental clarity, but if you give MCT to somebody who just started keto, they might not be able to put their finger on what they're feeling, right? Down the line, the sensation you'll feel is much easier to spot and determine what it actually is when you have an influx of ketones. This is why for exogenous ketone supplements that I talk about all the time, as you're more adapted, those ketones are almost entirely going to your brain. So that's why I often advertise them as a nootropic supplement, a brain supplement. So, of course, they have beneficial effects on your appetite and your blood sugar and your blood insulin, your insulin sensitivity when you take ketones or MCTs. But down the line, those ketones are mostly going to your brain. So they're not going to be flowing through your bloodstream as much as the fatty acids will. So when you have a beginner keto diet, their blood ketones will be massively higher. But typically the people who are doing keto for longer and they're more fat adapted, their blood sugar stabilizes more. And that's why I say for people who actually want to measure their ketones or have some sort of, you know, indication of what their level of ketosis is after they're adapted or months into the diet, if you truly are inclined to measure, get a blood glucometer and measure your blood glucose. Because if your blood glucose is stable, then that will be an indication of deeper ketosis. Because if you're 6 months into a keto diet, as my friend is, who hit me up with this topic, your blood ketones will be lower than somebody who just started and they've been on it for a week or two, okay? So your body is not wasting ketones. It's better at ketosis. It's just not showing up in your blood. And that's why if you measure your blood glucose, your blood sugars will stabilize as a result of being so effective at ketosis. Now, for people who are eating a very high protein intake, doing a keto bulk or of any sort, then perhaps your blood glucose may be higher, because around 56% of all the protein you eat may show up in your blood as glucose. So this is a good thing, again, because your body's going to have a stable blood glucose release from this protein via gluconeogenesis, which is the process of protein being turned into carbs, and also from some of the fats. Around like 9% of all the fats are going to break into glycerol and turn into carbs in your blood. So from there, you're going to have a decent bit of blood sugars. Okay, you're always going to have stable blood sugars, but you're going to have a bit of these sugars being created for your muscles and for your brain. Your body doesn't need that many carbs, and that's why keto is so effective, because it gives your body the optimal ratio of energy that it needs, which is predominantly fat and a small percentage of carbohydrates. So back to measuring things, your blood glucose might be a bit higher if you're eating massive amounts of protein. You don't need to eat massive amounts of protein, but if you're doing a keto bulk and you're having, between 150 grams around protein, maybe to 200 grams, then yeah, your blood glucose will be higher. And even if your ketones are low, this does not mean you're not in ketosis, so you don't need to worry. The deepness of ketosis does not indicate how much fat you will lose. It just determines how smoothly you're going to run. So your brain will feel smoother, your body, your energy levels will feel smoother, and your appetite will feel smoother if you're deeper into ketosis. But this does not mean more fat off your body will be burned, okay? So thank you for watching this video. This has been what happens to your body when you measure your ketones and you're already adapted, you're down the line, and you're confused why they're lower than you expected. Again, you don't need to measure any of these things. These are simply for the people who are very diligent, very precise, which happens to be a large amount of people who are on the ketogenic diet, because I think it's inherently attracts people who are very conscientious. So beyond that, thank you for watching this video. My name is Anthony Armano. If you want a free keto training plan or meal plan, link in the description. And also, I have my online coaching website if you want to work one-on-one with me. Very soon, probably by the time this video is done, there are going to be coaching programs up there which are less intensive and personalized than coaching, right? Managing you throughout months on end. They're going to be simply, I handle your custom training plan, custom meal plan right up front, get you that packaged with a booklet describing the entire program that I've written myself, and then from there, you're off to the races and you'll have more than enough to achieve the goals you want. So, thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, I'll answer you, especially if it's about measuring ketones or what the ketones will do in your body, etc., etc. Thanks.